Hello, and welcome back to Sleepy Tales by John. Tonight, before sleep gently settles on your eyelids, we're going to explore the vast secrets of the sky, a place far larger than anything humanity has ever known. Out there, far beyond our solar system, worlds are being born, worlds are fading away, and galaxies have been spinning in silence for billions of years. Astronomy reveals a glimpse into this wondrous realm where stars collide with unimaginable force, where planets drift through endless darkness, and invisible forces bend the very fabric of reality. Every discovery tonight, whether small or monumental, will be like a quiet puzzle piece from the story of the universe. A story so immense and so beautiful that it stretches beyond the edges of human thought. If you enjoy these slow, gentle journeys, you can like, subscribe, or share your thoughts. Who knows? Perhaps your whisper will guide another wandering soul to this peaceful corner. And now, take a slow, deep breath, letting your body soften and your mind relax. We begin our journey tonight, our journey into the quietest truths of the sky. Imagine, far out there, a giant star is living through the final moments of its life. For millions of years, it has burned, shining and warming the planets that orbited around it. But then, at some moment, gravity, the silent companion of the star, becomes stronger than anything it can resist. Gravity tightens, almost as if the universe itself is embracing the star one last time. And then, there is an explosion without sound, yet it shakes the very fabric of space and time. A burst of light so brilliant that it may outshine the entire galaxy for a brief cosmic heartbeat. Just a blink of the universe, but bright enough for us to observe from billions and billions of kilometers away. If you close your eyes now, you might imagine that explosion as a gigantic flower blooming in the dark. Layers of matter unfurling, rings of light expanding outward, soft yet fierce, gentle yet unstoppable. Every ray of light from that explosion drifts into the night, carrying the story of the star with it. The heavy elements created in that instant, iron, nickel, gold, platinum, are thrown into the infinite darkness like seeds. Those seeds drift for millions of years, gathering into clouds of dust that, one day, under the patient hand of the universe, will swirl into a slow spiral. Eventually, that spiral becomes a new planet, or a moon, or a deep blue ocean on some distant world. And perhaps, from within that ocean, a small creature will one day look up at the sky and wonder, who am I? Where did I come from? It's strange and beautiful to think that the death of a star, something that sounds like an ending, is actually the beginning of countless new lives. Everything you know, from the ring on your finger to the breath in your chest, is a gift from ancient, exploding stars. We all come from that light. We all carry within us the dust of a forgotten sun, and if you listen closely in the quiet of the night, you'll feel something gentle. The universe never rushes. Every moment follows its own rhythm. Sometimes so slow that humans can hardly bear it, sometimes so powerful that no words can describe it. Yet all things, fast or slow, wild or silent, are connected by an invisible thread. From that dying star out there to the breath you're taking right now, everything belongs to the same rhythm. A slow, peaceful, endless rhythm. And when you look up at the night sky, even if only through a small window, you are seeing the memories of such explosions. Memories from long ago, happening now, and still waiting to happen. You are seeing history written in light. You are seeing a future born from the destruction of suns. When the final glow from a dying star fades into the background of the sky, we can still feel its echo lingering in the mind. A simple but profound truth rises gently within us. Every ending plants the seed of a beginning. But among these newborn seeds, not every world finds a place to settle. Not every planet gets the chance to orbit a warm sun. Some children of the universe, born from stardust, are thrown into the dark, drifting forever without ever witnessing a sunrise. And from the story of these brilliant dying stars, we step quietly into the next chapter, the chapter of wandering worlds, planets lost in the cosmic night, where darkness has no beginning and no end. Try to imagine, in a chaotic moment during the youth of a solar system, newborn planets circled their star like toddlers learning to walk. The young universe was not calm. It was full of collisions, sudden nudges, unstable orbits. Just one tiny imbalance could send a planet flying out of its home. And so, a world full of potential, its oceans, volcanoes, winds, could be flung into the void like a leaf ripped from its branch during a storm. From that moment onward, the planet becomes a true wanderer. No sun, no day, no dawn, no dusk. Only an eternal darkness surrounding it. A darkness not of pure black, but of forgetting, of stories left unseen. Yet incredibly, even thrown into such deep night, these planets do not truly die. Above their surface, ice forms thick as winter lakes, freezing every mountain, valley, and memory of a once warm past. But beneath the ice, far from any light, another world quietly lives. Every planet has a silent heart, a small, persistent warmth, the leftover heat from its creation, and the gentle warmth of radioactive decay within its rocks. That warmth melts the deepest layers of ice, forming dark oceans, seas that never reflect a ray of light, yet continue to move, breathe, and ripple like the heartbeat of a sleeping creature. If you close your eyes now, you may imagine yourself sinking through that ice, through layers cold as glass, deeper and deeper, until darkness becomes so thick it feels solid. And then suddenly, you touch water, real water, warm enough to move, a quiet ocean existing without sunlight, surviving on the faint breath of its world. Perhaps in these dark oceans, life is whispering in the form of simple, silent creatures, soft, patient, like memories with no name. Maybe they have never seen a sky, but they exist nonetheless, a form of life that does not require dawn. And thinking of these wanderers, we begin to understand something beautiful. Even in the deepest darkness, the universe keeps a small warmth for every world. No world is completely abandoned. No place is so hopeless that a light cannot be found within. And these lonely planets remind us of ourselves. Sometimes, in life, we too feel as if we're drifting, far from the familiar light we once relied on. We too have cold seasons, moments where we don't know where we're heading. But just like those planets, deep within every person is a silent heart, a quiet warmth, steady enough to keep us moving, hoping, breathing. And so, as we look back to the universe, we feel a truth as soft as a breath. Not every planet has a sun, but every planet has a story, a journey, a hidden glow beneath its ice. These wandering worlds, with all their loneliness, carry a strange beauty, a meditative, deep, silent beauty, as if they are teaching us how to stand still in the darkness without fear, how to simply listen to the beat within ourselves. Then, as we gently drift away from the image of those planets floating through the endless night, a silence settles, soft as the universe's own exhale. A silence that makes us wonder, if there are worlds so lonely, what else waits in the darkest places of the sky, where even light, the swiftest traveler, hesitates? From that question, we begin to glide deeper into space, as though an invisible hand is guiding us toward the edge of a mystery that even science whispers about with awe. And that is where the story leads us now, to black holes, silent machines of time, spinning so fast they bend the fabric of space-time itself, like wind folding the surface of a lake on an autumn night. Imagine a distant region of space with no suns, no planets, nothing familiar, only darkness. But not the quiet darkness you know. This darkness feels alive, breathing, slowly shifting. At the center of that shadow lies a point where even light cannot escape, where gravity is so powerful it pulls time itself inward. This is a black hole, one of the strangest and most powerful objects the universe has ever created. If space were a soft sheet of fabric, a black hole would be like a massive whirlpool, pulling downward. When a star dies and collapses on itself, its core becomes so dense that nothing can resist its pull, and so an invisible vortex is born. Everything, gas, dust, planets, radiation, even light, becomes like fragile leaves swept into its spinning current. The space around a black hole is unlike any other place. It's not an empty stillness, but a swirling pool, where streams of hot, glowing gas stretch into fiery arcs, twisted into spirals around a bottomless pit. If you were standing far, far away, somehow surviving, you would see time stretching like honey, each second slowing, sound fracturing, light bending as though painted by an unseen artist. There is a region around the black hole called the ergosphere, where even light cannot remain still. There, space and time are pulled into rotation so intensely that everything must move with the black hole's spin, like standing on a giant carousel that never stops. Whether you want to or not, you'll be swept into its turning. For something more familiar, think of a rainy night, when water pools and spirals down a drain. Leaves, petals, drops, all drawn hopelessly into the center. But a black hole is no drain, and the universe is no rainy street. Here the pull is so strong it bends space-time itself, as though the cosmos were a delicate silk scarf twisted tightly at one point. And in this swirl, something astonishing happens. Light, the thing we imagine traveling straight and sure, cannot escape its dance with the vortex. It loops around the black hole like a frightened child, then finally falls inward. The moment light reaches the event horizon, the boundary of no return, it crosses the line between what we know and what we cannot ever know. Yet even though black holes sound terrifying, they hold a strange and silent beauty, like standing at the edge of a melting dream. Alongside destruction, they are also places where new things are born. Matter, compressed to extremes, can send out jets of energy powerful enough to pierce millions of light years, like the final whisper of the universe sending out an incomprehensible but breathtaking message. And when we look at black holes, we also see ourselves, the dark places inside us, the memories hard to hold, the sorrows deep as space. But just like the universe, every darkness contains the seed of transformation, of rebirth, of creation. Black holes may sound terrifying, but under the gentle light of a quiet night, they feel more like a lesson, that even the deepest regions of darkness have their own rules, and that they too carry a kind of beauty that only those who are patient enough, soft enough, can truly sense. And when we slowly drift away from that swirling gravity, the heart feels a little more at peace, because out there, beyond the violent whirlpools of space, there are places that are warm and tender, oceans beneath the ice, where life may be quietly breathing in the dark. If you're ready, we'll let ourselves float toward those hidden seas, where the secrets of the universe are held as lightly as a single blink. That is when the universe gently tilts and another scene appears before us, a beauty buried beneath layers of ice so thick that even light can only glide across the surface without seeing what lies below. As if, after the fierce spirals of black holes, the universe wants to soothe us with a gentler secret, a place where life, if it exists, does not bloom under blazing sunlight, but opens softly in the dark. Very quietly, very kindly, we are arriving at the oceans beneath the ice. Imagine you are standing on a distant moon, where the ground beneath your feet is not rock, but a sheet of ice as clear as frozen glass. That ice is so thick that every sound fades before it can echo, so thick that no ray of light can pierce through to reveal what hides below. Several moons in our solar system, like Europa, Enceladus, or Ganymede, carry this secret. They are like giant frozen jewels, seemingly dead and silent on the surface, yet holding warm hearts deep within. If you pressed your ear to that ice, and if the universe allowed you to hear, perhaps you would catch the faintest of motions, far away and soft, like the sigh of a sleeping ocean. Because beneath that ice, tens of kilometers thick, lies another world. An ocean deeper than any sea that has ever existed on Earth. An ocean that never sees the sun, with no day or night, no rain or wind. Only endless darkness and heat, quietly rising from cracks in the rocky core. This heat is not fire, not light, but the kneading of gravity itself. The parent planet, Jupiter, or Saturn, pulls on these small moons with tides so strong that they flex and bend the ice shell, warming them from within. Each time the moon is stretched, like a gentle heartbeat, the rocks below are heated, and that warmth trickles into the water. An ocean can be warmed by darkness, by pressure, by the constant tug and grind of matter, like a heart that never stops. And when we imagine this ocean, it looks nothing like what we know. No sunlight filters through, no turquoise blue, no white foam. It is an ocean of silence, black as ink, bottomless, so still that every tiny movement of water becomes a secret. And yet, within that darkness, life may be whispering, because life, as the universe keeps teaching us, does not only need light. It needs energy, it needs heat, it needs water. And here, all three still exist. Picture hydrothermal vents beneath the rocky floor, much like those at the bottom of Earth's oceans, where molecules dissolve, collide, and slowly build the first steps of life. Perhaps in that darkness, small living things are drifting slowly, without eyes, without color, sensing the world only through heat and motion. Perhaps they are quiet versions of life. No noise, no struggle. Simply existing, gently dancing in the never-ending warm currents. And if you look at that ocean with your heart instead of your eyes, you'll feel something deeply human. Sometimes the coldest places are the ones that hide the warmest things. Just as many people hide their pain in silence, these moons hide their life in the dark. Not to run away, but to wait for the day the universe is mature enough to find them. Think about it. On Earth, life began in the oceans, in the deep, away from sunlight. So somewhere else, hundreds of millions of kilometers away, maybe that is also where life is beginning. Like a flower that blooms at night, unseen by anyone, but still impossibly beautiful. Scientists believe that if life exists anywhere else in our solar system, it is most likely in these oceans beneath the ice. Not on molten planets, not in dry deserts, not in places blasted by radiation, but here, in the dark, under the ice, where silence feels like a gentle embrace. That idea makes us reflect on our own lives. Sometimes the places no one thinks of are the ones that nurture miracles. Sometimes darkness itself is the cradle of light. And when we picture this ocean one last time, before continuing our journey, we may see it as a quiet heart of the universe, beating steadily in the dark. Each ocean is an unanswered question, a possibility waiting to open, a story the universe is still in the middle of writing. And now, to continue, we'll leave behind these cold moons filled with hidden potential and travel toward one of the most spectacular sights in the cosmos, galaxies dancing together, pulling one another close in a symphony of gravity. It's like standing before the ocean at night, hearing distant waves, and slowly realizing that even this vast sea is only a small instrument in the grand orchestra of the universe. And as we lift our gaze, looking beyond that silent horizon, we see another scene, not just vivid, but so graceful that the soul itself seems to tremble. Because now we are leaving the hidden oceans to visit a place where the universe dances. Far, far beyond, past the planets, past the clouds of dust, past the rivers of light that wind through space, galaxies are touching. Not with explosions or fury, but with movements as slow as the steps of ancient dancers. Two colossal beings, each holding hundreds of billions of stars, gently moving toward one another. Imagine watching this from a great distance. Two galaxies, like glowing clouds, drifting through the night. At first, they only lean toward each other, like a shy bow. But over time, hundreds of millions of years, that bow becomes a spiral, then a swirl, and eventually a cosmic embrace so vast the mind can hardly contain it. Through our eyes, they look like two long ribbons of light, pulling behind them stars, gas, and worlds, all wrapped together in gravity's arms. As the galaxies draw closer, their spiral arms stretch out, curling and twisting like luminous ribbons, flowing through endless darkness. And here's the strange thing. Though it looks like an unavoidable collision, most of the stars in these two galaxies will never actually collide. The distances between them are so immense that they slip past each other like dancers gliding through a slow waltz. No crashes, no shattering, just passing by. But the gas, the clouds of hydrogen and helium, behave differently. They wrap around each other, compress, twist, and ignite new generations of stars. There is a very special beauty in this collision. Death and birth, living side by side in a movement that lasts millions of years. When gas meets gas, it heats up, thickens, glows brighter, and becomes a furnace for newborn suns. Young stars flare into existence, bright and hot, opening their eyes in the quiet chaos of this grand encounter. Watching this, you might feel as though you are seeing a forest reborn after a great fire, old and new tangled together, the past pulled forward to make room for the future. And through this entire cosmic dance, nothing is rushed, nothing is chaotic. Everything unfolds slowly, in the universe's own rhythm. As the two galaxies come closer and closer, their shapes warp and stretch like streaks of light drawn out by the night wind. After an unimaginably long time, longer than human history, longer than the lifetimes of many stars, they will finally merge into a single, larger, brighter galaxy. One new beginning. Astronomers believe that our own Milky Way will someday dance this same dance with Andromeda. Not tomorrow, not next year, but about 4 billion years from now. By then, the night sky of Earth, if Earth still exists, will be ablaze with long bridges of stars, streaming like luminous bridges between the two galaxies. That sight, if humans are there to see it, would be so breathtaking that the mind itself would fall silent. And as we continue to watch these two galaxies twisting into each other like twin ribbons of light in an infinite sky, we can feel something small but important. The universe is not only endless darkness, not only cold numbers or violent events. It also contains moments of elegance, softness, and something very close to poetry. There is a tenderness even in the grandest things. That realization might make us wonder, perhaps, in our own lives, the biggest changes are not always sudden shocks. Maybe they're more like two quiet streams, slowly drifting together, weaving into one, just as galaxies silently merge. After leaving the silent yet majestic ballet of galaxies, curling into each other like glowing silk in the endless night, we can still feel the echo of their movement, like a wordless song lingering in the mind. Those ancient rotations, those streams of gas sparking new stars, all of it makes us realize that even in encounters that stretch across millions of light years, the universe knows how to remain gentle, slow, and soft. At that moment, while your thoughts are still drifting along those spiral arms, you may find your gaze drawn to the quieter corners of the sky. Not the places where light explodes, not where dying stars redraw the night, but small, still pockets where strange objects drift like the softest breaths of the dark. There live the stars that never fully blaze, objects caught between two definitions, two worlds, two natures, not quite strong enough to become real stars, yet not truly like planets either. They are like wanderers carrying secrets that light alone cannot explain. We call them by a name as gentle as shadow, brown dwarfs. Imagine that among a sky dotted with sharp, brilliant stars burning themselves away, there are also faint, hazy glows that exist in a completely different way. Brown dwarfs do not shine fiercely. They do not have enough pressure to ignite sustained hydrogen fusion, the usual requirement for the universe to call something a star. And yet they are too massive to be considered ordinary planets. They are in between lights, half-open flowers. A long sigh of the universe between the bright lanterns of galaxies. Seen from afar, they give off a very soft, faint glow like an oil lamp about to go out, but strangely persistent. They do not flare, they simply shine just enough to say, "I'm here." Their atmospheres are playgrounds for the imagination. Within those dim layers of gas, there may be strange chemical clouds, where grains of minerals, metals, even glass, are swept into swirling storms, floating in the air like silver dust. When the winds grow strong enough, these clouds gather, grow larger, and then the rain begins to fall. But this is not rain made of water. It is iron rain, glass rain, and other mineral storms that our Earth has never seen. Try to imagine a rainy night on a brown dwarf. Droplets of molten metal falling toward the surface, glowing faintly like tiny embers, or countless shards of glass glittering like stardust as they fall through the atmosphere. In that world, everything is strange and quietly beautiful. No life, no sound. Only an invisible wind brushing past heavy clouds filled with exotic elements. The existence of a brown dwarf is a lot like the existence of a feeling caught between two states. When your heart is not truly sad, but not quite happy either. Just a space in between, a middle rhythm, where everything seems softer, gentler, as if it were waiting for something the universe itself has not yet named. If in the previous part we witnessed the grand motion of galaxies, with hundreds of billions of stars, clouds of gas, nebulae, and spiraling arms stretching across millions of light years, then in this part 7, we bow toward smaller things, quieter things, dimmer things. In places where light does not flare, where brilliance is not expected, we find another kind of beauty. The beauty of humility, of simply existing by the faint warmth left over from the dawn of the universe. What's special is that these brown dwarfs are countless. They drift through the vast emptiness like boats without lanterns, without direction, wandering on the gravitational winds of galaxies. If the great stars are like glowing cities, then brown dwarfs are like small huts hidden in a night field. Easy to overlook, but once your eyes find them, you cannot look away. Perhaps it is their very faintness that makes them so captivating. Perhaps the universe is like us. Sometimes it is the things uncertain and unfinished that make us want to linger and watch. And when you quietly gaze at a brown dwarf hovering at the edge of some faraway darkness, you realize that the universe does not only turn through magnificent explosions, blazing accretion disks, or planets peacefully circling their stars. It also turns on the lightest of breaths, on lanterns that never fully shine, on worlds trapped between two definitions. And it is exactly in these blurred borderlands that we find the peace we've been searching for in our sleep. When you're ready to move on, we'll leave these half-lit, half-shuttered lanterns behind and drift towards something else. The ancient messengers of the universe, comets, carrying memories from a time before the sun was born. Imagine yourself standing in a room of perfect darkness. No light, no sound, just stillness. Then suddenly, from a distant corner, a thin streak of brightness appears, as if someone had drawn a single brush stroke of light across the black sky. It starts out faint, then grows brighter, then stretches into a long trailing band, like a silver scarf fluttering in the wind. It comes, and then it goes. It never stays for long, but each time it appears, it feels as if the whole sky lets out an ancient sigh. That is a comet, the messenger of the universe. And to truly understand it, we must slow down a little, gently, the way you place your hand on water and wait for the ripples to spread. Comets are strange beings of space. They were born in a time so distant that you can imagine this. While Earth was still a red-hot rock, with no oceans, no clouds, no winds, comets already existed. They formed from chunks of ice, dust, and ancient organic compounds, the leftover material after the solar system was woven together from a giant cloud of gas. They are like glass bottles thrown into the cosmic ocean, each one holding a sealed message, drifting for billions of years without ever being opened. Whenever humanity encounters a comet, we are looking at some of the most pristine remnants of the early universe. Touching, in a way, a relic that time has tried to keep hidden for billions of years. Far from the sun, comets are dim, dark, and completely ordinary. Just dirty ice, drifting like sleeping stones. But as they begin to approach the light, something magical happens. Their ice warms. Molecules that have slept for ages awaken. Gas begins to escape. Dust rises. And together, they stream out into a radiant tail, so long it can stretch across the size of a planet. A comet's tail is not flame, not some inner fire. It is simply ancient ice evaporating when it meets the warmth of the sun. And that image is breathtaking, a brief meeting between the cold of the beginning and the warmth of the present. In a way, comets are very much like us. When we pass through light, the deepest parts of our soul awaken, spreading, shining for a while, and then we drift back into the next stretch of darkness in our lives, carrying with us something that has been changed forever. If we listen more deeply, we hear something else in comets. They may be the bearers of life's first seeds, organic molecules, tiny fragments of what would one day become DNA, cells, and every living thing have been found inside comets. Perhaps, at some ancient moment when Earth was still young, a few fragments of cometary ice fell into its oceans, bringing with them the first ingredients scattered into the primordial seas. This is not a myth, but a possibility that many scientists consider reasonable. And when you think of that, you may feel a deep tenderness. Life may not have had to begin in just one place. It may have been delivered like a letter from the universe, a letter with no return address, a message with no words, yet powerful enough to give rise to everything that breathes, loves, dreams, and lives on this earth. Comets are also symbols of return. Their orbits are so long that some only come back after thousands of years. An entire civilization can be born, rise, and fade away before a single comet wraps its scarf of light around the sky again. When you see Halley's Comet, you know that by the time it returns, you will no longer be here, but others will be. New eyes, new hearts. And in a way, the light of a comet becomes a bridge between generations that will never meet, between eras that will never touch. Comets remind us that everything returns, but never in exactly the same way. Like our breathing, like the cycles of our sleep, like emotions that come and go, but always leave a small trace in the heart. And as we keep watching a comet sweep across the night sky, leaving behind a delicate streak of light like a silver ribbon lifted by the wind, it begins to feel as though the universe is whispering to us. A reminder that everything has an origin, everything carries a memory. And sometimes, those memories arrive in our lives as a brief streak of light, existing for only a moment, but beautiful enough to be remembered for a lifetime. Now, if you're ready, we'll drift onward into the next part, where glowing nebulae are awakened by young stars, like gentle paintings breathing beneath the sky. Imagine yourself floating slowly through the dark, where there is no sound, no weight, nothing to hold you back. There is only your body, your heart, and a thin stream of light gradually appearing in the distance. This light is not harsh, not blazing, not something that makes you blink. It is as gentle as a candle in a quiet room. It spreads softly, blending into the darkness, then invites you to come closer. Little by little, that is a nebula, a cradle for newborn stars, a place where time does not run, it simply breathes. To many people, nebulae are just beautiful photographs sent back by telescopes. But in this sleepy world, where every emotion has been softened, a nebula becomes something else, a monument of light. A painting drawn with ionized hydrogen, with ancient streams of energy, and with the heartbeat of stars that have just opened their eyes. As we approach a nebula, we don't see chaos. We don't see rapid motion. We don't see the wild eruption of a supernova. What we feel instead is absolute stillness. A kind of silence that, when you touch it, feels like placing your hand on the surface of a dream. Enormous clouds of gas stand still, like ribbons suspended in water. They glow not because they shine on their own, but because young stars are sending their light through them, painting them in reds, blues, purples, and golds. Colors that the human eye can only see after light has traveled a very long way. If comets are the ancient messengers, then nebulae are the silent painters of the universe. Every stream of gas, every streak of dust, every patch of darkness is a brushstroke. Together they form a canvas so vast that even the widest human heart cannot fully embrace it.
Within a nebula, there are towering pillars of gas, structures taller than many solar systems, stacked on top of one another. They stand like ancient towers, soft yet powerful. When you gaze at them, you see darkness clinging to their peaks, light blurring at their feet, everything blending into a slow dance in the sky. There is no music, yet you can feel the rhythm. No choreographer, yet the universe somehow knows exactly how to arrange every movement. And behind those dark shapes where light does not reach, young stars are growing. They are like tiny seeds deep in the soil. No one sees them sprout, but one day they will burst forth, blaze, and renew the whole sky. Famous nebulae like the Eagle Nebula, the Orion Nebula, or the Crab Nebula are all cosmic wombs where the first breaths of thousands of stars are taken. Those breaths are so soft that no one can hear them. But if you close your eyes, you may feel them, like a whisper brushing against the deepest part of your mind. As you drift deeper into the heart of the nebula, you begin to feel that everything around you is moving to a very slow rhythm. Not slow in a boring way, but slow in a way that feels right for the universe. Like watching a flower gently unfold over the course of a long night. Each petal doesn't open to perform for anyone, it opens simply because its time has come. In the same way, the stars inside a nebula are not born with noise or explosions. They open their eyes in light soft as a smile, thin as a breath. At that distance, we start to understand that the universe is not only made of power, not only of the roar of black holes or the violent blasts of supernovae. The universe also has very gentle corners, places so soft that you only need to touch them with your imagination for your heart to grow calm. There are nebulae where the glowing gas is uneven, creating dark regions like long shadows. And where the light is blocked, strange shapes appear, like birds, horses, hands, or a giant standing in the sky. Those shapes are not truly there, and yet they are, because millions of people have looked at them, seen themselves in them, and quietly smiled. Each nebula is a reminder that every beginning needs darkness. The sky needs those dark regions to shield the growing stars. Just as in life, each of us has times when we need to withdraw, to be quiet, to fall into stillness, so that one day, when the moment comes, we can open, shine, and become a new version of ourselves. Nebulae are in no hurry. And tonight, you don't have to hurry either. Let their light slowly seep into your mind as if you were stepping into a soft garden lit by millions of candles. Each candle a young star learning how to shine. As the light from those distant nebulae slowly drifts behind you, like the last brushstrokes fading from a painting that is gently closing, your mind still carries the softness of their colors and dust. It feels as though you've just stepped out of a room woven entirely from light, a place where every grain of dust knows how to tell a story, and every stream of gas knows how to breathe in rhythm with newborn stars. And as that scene melts into the darkness behind you, a new space opens ahead, quieter, emptier, yet secretly holding some of the strangest wonders of all. Sometimes, when we look at the sky, we imagine that planets are all the same, neat, round, polished, like shining marbles circling a lamp at the center. But as we journey deeper into the universe, we discover that the truth is softer and far more complex than that. Behind the gentle beauty of nebulae, where stars are born, lie strange worlds, bent and sculpted by time, temperature, and gravity, in ways our hearts have never imagined. And that is where we're about to go. As if, after admiring the great monuments of light in the universe, we're now invited to sit down at nature's workbench, where gravity is the artist. Rock is the raw material, and every planet is a sculpture being refined without end. Not every planet is round. The universe does not obey the tidy patterns of the human mind. In certain distant places, some worlds are stretched out like giant eggs gently held at both ends. Not because some invisible hand is squeezing them, but because they stand too close to their parent star. That star pulls on them with immense gravity, like a ribbon pulled too tight, and the world must bend with it, breathing in the shape that gravity forces it to accept. Planets like these spin so quickly that their surfaces become like rivers of hot rock driven by winds. Their cores do not sit still. They boil, swirl, and shift constantly. In some places, geological activity is so intense that volcanoes never truly rest. They don't erupt in neat cycles like on Earth. They breathe, swelling and subsiding like the heartbeat of a being crushed by the star it orbits. If you listen closely, you might imagine hearing the boiling of such a world, not as real sound, but as the echo of silent motion, the sound of thousands of rocks melting, of magma crawling beneath the crust, of changes so slow that they take millions of years to complete a single beat. And if you were to look up at the sky from such a planet, if you could somehow stand there, you would see something even stranger. Its atmosphere would never be still. It would be stretched by the shape of the entire planet into slanting, twisted streams of wind, unlike anything we've ever seen. Those winds could be powerful enough to strip the sky, pulling clouds into long, thin ribbons like strands of silver thread. And sometimes that atmosphere would itself be tugged by the parent star, making the entire sky look as though it were being slowly pulled out of shape over time. Elsewhere, we find planets twisted so far that their surfaces seem to lean as if smiling crookedly to one side. Some spin at an angle, some tumble clumsily through space trying to keep their balance. Some are pinched into teardrops, and all of them obey a single rule: gravity is in charge of the game. And yet, strangely, when you look at these worlds, these places with shapes that seem absurd, lands and skies that look as though someone has kneaded them with invisible hands, you don't feel chaos, you feel acceptance. These planets do not struggle, do not rage, do not fight against the forces pulling them from every side. They simply move with it. Like water in a river, flowing along the curves of the rock. Like clouds drifting with the wind. like the way we sometimes bend ourselves around life's difficulties and later realize that this very flexibility made us stronger. Perhaps that is a gentle lesson the universe is trying to offer us. Not every force needs to be resisted. Sometimes letting ourselves be shaped, adapt, and breathe more slowly is how we survive. On these distorted worlds, everything is strange. The sky, the ground, the wind, even the light. Light does not fall evenly there. It stretches in some places, shrinks in others. A sunset might last a very long time, long enough for you to feel as though the star is trying to whisper something to you before disappearing behind a bent horizon. Sometimes the universe is most beautiful, not in symmetry, but in its oddities. And these strange planets with all their warps and stretches, with shapes that look like jokes told by physics, still live, still exist, still circle their star like any other world. They remind us that beauty does not always live in perfection. Sometimes it lives in difference, in the unusual curves that life accidentally carves into each of us. After drifting past these worlds, molded by gravity into the universe's oddest sculptures, your heart may feel as though it has slowed a beat. As if, after seeing all those warped shapes, you've begun to notice in your own life the places that have been stretched, pressured, twisted in ways that are hard to put into words. The universe always has a gentle way of reminding us. Every shape, no matter how strange, is the result of a journey. And the moment we accept that, another door opens, a door that leads to the final and perhaps most beautiful moment in a star's life. If the previous part was like watching worlds still being needed in the flow of time, then this part takes us to where movement begins to quiet down. As we continue gliding through the velvet darkness of space, the light ahead grows softer, as though filtered through a layer of silk. Gone are the terrifying blasts of supernovae. Gone are the thunderous stellar winds that sweep dust into storms. In their place appears something gentle, peaceful, a last breath, a whispered farewell. And here, this is where some stars end their lives in a way so beautiful that it's hard for the human heart to comprehend. When a star, like our sun, grows old, it doesn't explode in a violent supernova like the giants do. It chooses a quieter path, like someone who has lived fully and only wishes to say a small goodbye before closing everything. It begins to blow its outer layers of gas away, wave after wave, like the soft breaths of someone falling into a deep sleep. Those layers spread out into space as delicate rings, thin as scarves laid gently upon water. Under the light of the dying star, each ring glows with its own color. Blue, violet, pale yellow, pink gray, like lanterns floating and slowly turning in the dark. These are planetary nebulae, the scientific name for those luminous shells. They do not erupt all at once in brutal force. They unfold slowly, like a flower opening in the cold ocean of space. They last for tens of thousands of years, drifting away like memories the universe softly releases into the night. At the center of those glowing rings, the core of the star contracts into a remnant so small it's almost unbelievable. There isn't much larger than Earth, but it is denser than anything we can truly imagine. A single spoonful of it would weigh more than a skyscraper. It no longer burns fiercely as it did in youth, but it is still warm. Like a coal that has not quite gone out, still strong enough to send out a gentle light that can travel across thousands of light years. And this is the special part. That light continues to leave the star, continue to pass through the drifting gas, continue to cross even the coldest stretches of space, just to reach the eyes of someone quietly looking up at the sky, perhaps yours, on a night just like this one. If you've ever seen images of the Helix Nebula, the Ring Nebula, or the Cat's Eye Nebula, then you have already seen the last breath of a star, a farewell as thin as mist, sent into space, carrying the story of a life that lasted billions of years. Standing before these scenes, these scarves of light floating on a black canvas, you may feel something deeply human, whether large or small, star or person. In the end, we all leave behind our own kind of light. Some leave it in stories, or some in memories, some in smiles. Some in things no one ever sees, yet they remain. These stellar remnants, the white, cooling cores at their centers, are like small books recording the entire journey of the universe. Temperature, pressure, elements, all the tiny changes in stellar winds long ago. They do not speak with words, they speak by existing. Their faint light may take thousands of years to reach us, but still, it arrives. Because the universe is in no hurry. And the most precious stories often take a very long time to be heard. When we sit quietly and feel this, we understand that every beam of light we see in the night sky is more than just light. It is a memory. A page from the universe's diary, written in photons and sent across the perfect silence of time. Some of those rays left their stars before humans could write. Some left when Earth was still young. And some, perhaps, will reach us in a future far beyond our longest dreams. And tonight, as you lie down and let your eyes slowly close, remember this soft truth. Each ray of light is a memory of the universe, crossing a time span longer than any sleep just to find you, and that alone is enough to make this night feel wonderfully, deeply peaceful.